What's up, Love Squad? It's your girls, and we're back today with another little cooking video for you guys. So today we're going to mimic one of our favorite meals that we eat when we go out to dinner at O'Charlie's. So we love to order the chicken tenders, the loaded mash. We sometimes order the green beans or broccoli. And so we didn't get the broccoli today, so we subbed it out for a little sweet corn. So what we're going to do today is we're going to fry our chicken tenders, then dip them. I got some Sweet Baby Ray's, if you guys can see it here. Sweet Baby Ray's sweet and spicy sauce, as well as Kraft Mesquite. I'm going to blend those two sauces together and zhuzh them up a little bit to make them taste beautiful. And we're going to shuck our corn, peel our potatoes, and wash and season our meat, and we'll be right back. Okay guys, so I've washed and peeled my potatoes, and then I re-washed my potatoes after I peeled them, and I put them in my pot. So now I think this is about maybe 10 pounds of potatoes. Why about 10 pounds of potatoes, guys? I don't know. So I put them in my pot with some water. I'm going to cover them a little bit more, but I'm going to do a little sprinkle of salt. And I'm just going to stir that up. And I think I'm going to add a little bit more water to this pot. So I put my salt in there, and I think I'm just going to give it a stir. And then I'm going to cover this, so not only do my potatoes get a chance to cook, but they'll get a chance to steam as well. Okay guys, now to start my green beans. And how I do my green beans, guys, is I saute them. A lot of times I use the healthy oil, which is the olive oil. Today, not so much. We're going with straight bacon fat. Gives tons of flavor, and we don't do this very often. So I'm just going to swirl that bacon fat around in that skillet. I'm a southern cook, guys. A little pulverization going there. And what I've done is I've diced up some onions. Just slice them thinly. I'm sorry, I sliced the onions thinly. And I'm just going to add those onions down into that skillet and just give it a slight stir. And what I want to do is I want to get a little color to those onions. Not so much caramelized, just a little, almost till they're opaque. And believe it or not, guys, I actually season my onions. So I go in with a little bit of onion salt powder. I'm sorry, a little onion powder. A little garlic powder. A little seasoned oil. And I like lots of black pepper, guys. So I'm going to really put that black pepper in there. And the key to fantastic food is to season each element of your food. If you have 4 or 5 ingredients, you want to go in and season to make sure each ingredient gets some of that yumminess. Okay. So now that those onions are just about where I want them, I'm going to go ahead and add my green beans on top of those onions, guys. It's just 2 packages of whole green beans. And we're just going to put these green beans into that skillet. And so we know our onions are seasoned. However, we need to go in and season these beans. So I'm just going to go back in with that onion powder, that garlic powder, that black pepper, but I'm going to tread a little bit more lightly with the season oil, because you want to watch your salt intake, guys. And what we're going to do is just give this a quick toss to marry all those beautiful flavors into those green beans. And we're just going to let this saute, guys. And if you see and you see that I did not add any type of liquid, that is what you want, because these green beans are going to be sauteed, and you want that kind of crispness, and so we don't want to make them soggy by adding any liquid to them. So we're going to saute this up a little bit, and we'll be right back. Okay guys, Baby Love went ahead and cleaned the corn, pulled all the silk off of it. So now I'm just going to go ahead and start it to boil in this pot of water. I'm just going to add a little bit of salt to it, just to give that corn a little bit of flavor, hoping that the corn has a natural sweetness to it. I know I'm going in a little bit with the salt, but that's okay because we have a lot of water, guys, and you want that flavor. So we basically just start off seasoning it with the salt, and then once it starts to boil, we're going to add a little bit of butter to it. Okay guys, this is about where I want to finish my green beans. I want to pretty much keep a little bit of that crunch with them, but for them to be very, very tender. So they're bursting with flavor. Those onions did caramelize on those green beans, and all of that great seasoning just cooked right into them. So we're going to go ahead and pull these off, and we're going to do our chicken now. Okay guys, I have some regular self-rising flour. It's by White Lily. I'm just going to go ahead and put some of this into my bowl. Just kind of eyeballing what I think I'll need. Normally I would do this with a Ziploc bag, but I forgot to pick them up at the store today. So we're just going to roll with what we have. And guys, I wanted to say something about your meat. When you purchase your produce, your fruit, as well as your meat, please make sure you wash it thoroughly. I had a comment left on my one of my videos that I think it was me cooking my steaks, that thank goodness you washed your steaks. Always wash your produce, your fruit, as well as your meat, guys, because it's been handled, and rehandled. From the time that it's released from where it's coming from to where it you know, ends up, you don't know what's been, you know, happening with your products. So now that I have that flour and that thoroughly washed meat, I'm just going to basically season my flour with a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of seasoning. Oh guys, I'm running out of seasoning. What?
I think you have another one.
Some salt. It's a lot of flour, guys. I really go in with the paprika because it's a lot of flour. Onion salt. I'm sorry, onion powder. Garlic powder. And I'm just going to give this a stir. And what you're doing, guys, is you're basically making a seasoned flour mix. And see how you get that beautiful color? And so now that I've gotten that done, now I'm going to do the same thing with my chicken breast. I'm just going to lightly season with the seasoning, the black pepper, the onion powder, the garlic powder, as well as my paprika. So now what I'm going to do is flip it over and kind of put it down in that flour. And it's okay if you see parts that's not seasoned. That's the purpose of seasoning your flour as well. This is how I do it. Of course, you don't have to do it this way. Just add a little bit more seasonings on that side, just slightly, real light. And so what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to put the top on this chicken. And I'm going to shake it, and I'm going to get it down in that oil. Okay, now that I've floured those chicken tenders, I'm just going to put them down in my wok that I have filled with vegetable oil and get these tenders frying. Be careful when you're using your hot oil, guys, because your oil tends to expand as it gets hotter when you put your food in it. Just gonna shift some things around. And we're just gonna cook these about 7 to 8 minutes until they're golden brown. Okay, now that we have our chicken tenders done, we're just basically gonna put them over in our bowl with some sauce in it. And we're gonna toss these guys. You're just gonna flip them over, making sure each tender get a little bit of that sauce. And kind of douse that off a little bit, kind of knock that off a little bit, and put it in a plate. And you're gonna repeat this process with each chicken tender. I kind of fried my tenders a little crispy. I like mine a little bit more crispy, because you want them to be able to hold up to that sauce that you're putting on them. You don't want them real soggy. And so we're just gonna do all of our tenders like this. We're gonna bathe them in this barbecue sauce, and we'll be right back. Okay, guys, now that my potatoes are finished cooking, I'm just gonna go in. This is not the healthiest of meals, guys, and it's weird because when I get my loaded mash at Old Charlie's, I don't like any butter, but at home I'm gonna use some country crock butter. I'm gonna add a little bit of black pepper in that. If you have white pepper, that's perfectly fine. I'm just sprinkle just a little bit more additional salt into those potatoes. And I have an old-fashioned masher. So I'm just going to go in and I'm going to start mashing these potatoes. They're still steaming hot. And so we're just going to mash them with our old school potato masher, guys. We're going to get down in there. And the thing I like about cooking vlog style is you don't have to be so perfect. If you drop a potato and have to throw it away, if your bowl's too little like my bowl, it's okay. This is not one of those precise cooking videos. I do have some of those videos where everything is so precise, but this is not one of them, guys. This is just us cooking one of our favorite meals at home. And the key to with the milk, guys, is I put my milk in the microwave and I actually warm it up. What this does is it helps it to blend better with your potatoes. If you like to use heavy cream, do that. Whatever type of milk you like to use, do what you like. But for us, I'm just using 2% milk today, guys. That's what my grandbaby drinks, and that's what I'm using. I'm going to add a little bit more of that milk. And you're just going to keep adding milk and mashing those potatoes until you get them to the consistency that you like them. Okay, guys, so we went ahead and finished mashing the potatoes, and they turned out amazing. So now we're going to put our corn in a bowl and show you guys the finished product. Okay, guys, this is our O'Charlie's inspired meal that we cooked today for you guys. We hope you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned because we're actually going to be doing a mukbang on this meal. So the next time you see this delicious food, it'll be on our plates to go into our stomachs. So I wanted to shout out, I know I probably shouted them out in a previous video, but I wanted to shout out the Fritz family. they commented on one of my videos that we, you know, buy a lot of takeout. So I wanted to show them, hey, your girl can cook a really good meal at home as well. So this is our Old Charlie's inspired menu. So the next time you'll see this meal, it'll be on our plates because we're going to be doing an Old Charlie's inspired mukbang. So until next time, Love Squad.